Sword of the Sea is a sand surfing, chain grinding, breathtaking adventure that'll have you scaling vast deserts, tall mountaintops, and everything else possibly in between. And while I'd argue that this game will be looked on as a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, and spoiler alert, deservedly so, this game is sick, in its perfection lies a brutal flaw that feels like it kinda held the game back a little bit. But let me not get ahead of myself. What is Sword of the Sea, you may ask? Well, it's this action-adventure platformer that kind of borrows its movements from snowboarding sports games, if you could believe that. It really gave me SSX on tour vibes as I was playing it. Produced by a team that has worked on games like Journey, Abzu, and The Pathless, some of gaming's most notable hits in creative storytelling. This game blends all the visuals you would expect out of a team like that, and as simple as it could be at times, it works super well. Honestly, man, once I picked up this game, I could not put it down, at all. I explored every nook and cranny I could, beat the game, found out I missed some stuff, and went right back into it. This game is not only fun, but it's a journey too. You get it? No, please don't. Even ignoring its visuals and sound design, the game itself is just a real treat. I had so much fun just surfing around and looking for stuff. And every time I felt like, okay, you know what, maybe this game is getting a bit repetitive. There's only so many times I can keep going, searching for the same exact objective every time. BAM! Now I'm breaking down crystals with a dolphin. Now I'm trying to get a sick-ass combo streak going in this weird Tony Hawk time trials high score thing. Now I'm in platforming hell. Now I'm in hell. Game be like that. This game doesn't get stale. And granted, while the runtime isn't long, I did beat the entire game in only 3 hours after all. I can't stress enough how engaging those 3 hours were. There's a lot of games nowadays that are lucky if you can get me playing it for, an hour straight because of just how busy I am as an adult. So when I feel the need to hunker down and finish something in one go, I can't lie, that's kind of impressive. That doesn't happen often. A standout personal highlight of this game of mine was how fun it was during the mountain boost sections of the game. Honestly, probably the entire mountain section of this game. I'm a huge fan of fast-paced racing games and felt like this game captured a real nice sense of speed and intensity every time I had to perform a boost. Even though they clearly weren't going for that kind of racing prowess, and this is just a personal I like this kind of thing, I just felt like they did it so well. I'd play a whole game dedicated to just moving around like this and exploring a mountain like this. All that to say, this game feels great and is smooth as hell to control. So much so that even though performing tricks wasn't mandatory, I couldn't help but instinctively perform them whenever I could. Maybe it was my ADHD coded brain, but I felt the need to treat each bump as a ramp and make use of airtime to the fullest. Which, funny enough, ended up biting me in the ass by the end of the game too. Because long story short, when you reach the end of the game, you'll actually get a score depending on how well you did. And my score was pretty high because I just could not stop doing tricks like I mentioned. Well, it turns out there's an achievement to beat the game beating your previous high score. Which is just great, knowing that I totally just screwed myself if I ever decided to 100% this game. Probably wouldn't be the worst fix, probably would just have to spam these time trial things, but that's a lot of effort that I have to do just because I couldn't stop performing tricks. But that goes to show how fun this game played. I couldn't help but just want to trick off every little thing. Now, I don't know how I went this long without talking about arguably this game's most defining pro, but Sword of the Sea is absolutely gorgeous. In a day and age where every game is reaching for insane details and realism, I tend to forget how expressive games can be visually, and honestly how they're supposed to be. Whether it's surfing through miles and miles of desert sand with a high contrasting blue backdrop, or toning it down to a cooler color palette in the caves of a winter biome, it makes no difference. Each area is colorful, each area is fun. And that's before you literally start breathing life into these areas and they start merging and coexisting with the sea in a weird blend of half ocean and half everything else. It's great, man. I don't know what to say. Giant Squid just does it again. These people don't miss. I will say though, there was a couple of times where the game got kind of nutty with the amount of sea life and stuff that was on the screen, and I felt my computer stutter a bit. I was kind of like, oh god, is this game about to crash on me? And luckily it didn't happen, but still, I do have a pretty beefy computer, so Don't know what was going on with that. Right behind its fun visuals and smooth gameplay, I can happily say the sound design is also great. From the little chirps and wails of the sea creatures to the sound of the wind and sand bouncing off the sword, it's all just so good. Out of all the games I've played of this type, and even by this company, this game by far has my favorite soundtrack. It was already pretty much a 10 out of 10 early in my playthrough, but then the lyrics started kicking in out of nowhere. Which was like, fire! I'm the type of gamer that doesn't usually remember tracks for video games like right away. It's usually not until I hear it over and over again, or if it's a game that like really resonates with me. Or unless it's a game that's like really catchy. But there's a handful of songs here that I remembered, and I remember for days. I even went back to listen to some on Spotify. It gives me not only Journey vibes, but something similar to Shadow of the Colossus. Where yes, the music is whimsical, the music is orchestrated, but there's a deep story being told behind it. It's nice. This soundtrack really stood out for me for, I think, almost every game I played this year. I don't think anything else has really like stuck with me. Each story beat in this game is enhanced by the same music. While every major cutscene giving you no voice dialogue and only goes off of pure character acting, the music had a crazy amount of heavy lifting to do, and boy did it lift it. The story itself is also good too, but that leads into what my biggest gripe of the game is. It's clear that Giant Squid has a style for these kind of games, and I mean, I'd argue that they can go for it. It definitely works for them with how successful they are. But off of my initial playthrough, I couldn't help but I feel like I've seen this journey once before. Sure, there's a gameplay difference, there's a visual difference, and there are story beats that mix things up. But I still saw similarities everywhere I looked. Through the looming threat that's present throughout the game, to the climactic end, it felt very on the nose, only mixing up a few things here and there. And I guess, you know what? This game is a spiritual successor to Journey, not a sequel or anything, so it's allowed to be one-to-one here and there. Yooka-Laylee felt like a really shitty copy of Banjo-Kazooie, and that's a spiritual successor. And this is a much better spiritual successor by comparison. I guess I was just expecting something more, something different. After the first section of the game, I was able to speak to my wife, and I guessed exactly where the story was going to go to a T. It was actually annoying. Sword of the Sea pushed the envelope with its design and gameplay, but kind of just stayed the same in the story aspect. I wish it pushed itself just as hard here. If this game wasn't as fun and beautiful as it was, I definitely would not have continued playing it for the story alone. But I don't think that's the point of this game. I don't think this game's narrative has to be told by its story, but more into its visual storytelling. Which again, this game in every right succeeded in that. But if you think otherwise, please let me know down in the comments, and I would really love to hear your thoughts on this. Did you like this game? Was it the shit? Did you hate it? Do you think it's too much like Journey? Is it too different? I don't know. I still think this game is great. I probably am gonna beat it again, and I'm thinking about possibly 100%ing it. It's just genuinely fun. I really enjoyed it. Like, take into consideration that this game is so good that it brought me out of retirement from my channel. You know how insane that is? But either way, hope to see you again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, and take care.